for the money.
Same as
And
Gary.
Yep. If you're doing it for the money, eventually the money's not going to be enough for a reason. So,
well, I don't know. That's not a strong enough why, you know?
yeah, bingo.
That's right. Because
Yeah,
eventually you get, I'm sure you're at a point where it's like, I could probably just take the next couple of years off, to be honest with you, right? It's
Yep.
like, well, I'm good.
So I
I
told
started.
people, I said, honestly, I don't even want to. Yeah, that's what I tell people quite honestly. It'd be like, right now I just retire and don't work, you know,
That's not fun, though.
but it's
I'll go
not fun.
crazy. I'll go completely insane. I can't do it. I could. Well, that's one of the reasons why I started doing the YouTube. Once I started really clicking, when we got a winner that was a good monthly recurring, I was like, well, I got a lot of time now. So
SEO underground in the house.
I'm here. Don't worry. He's
Okay,
here.
good. What's up?
I wasn't talking to him. I just saw a message from Paul. Don't worry, Paul. I saw you.
Yeah.
I got a lot of messages, actually. I was really happy to see that when I got back.
Yeah.
I was taking care of the client stuff first. So day one was, let's take care of that stuff first.
Yeah, it's like whenever you go away, my first test, if you will, my project manager, Fresnel, he's my right-hand man, probably about, what was it, May-ish, I believe, of this year. I went to Zamboanga City. It's 6 hours away, and I got stuck in the city because of a lockdown. And my 1 week trip became a month trip.
Sheesh.
Well, that month trip taught me, could I trust them or not? And I even told him before I left, if I come back early, it's not a good thing.
Right.
if I can stay gone a week, it's a good thing. But then I wound up, I was able to be gone for a month, and he handled everything. Then I went back again, and he's able to handle everything. And now we're planning a trip to Cagayan probably in about a month or so. And I'm confident he's able to handle stuff when I'm gone. I don't have to worry about things falling apart or nothing like that.
That's key.
Yeah.
See, I work with one guy, so it's trust. Trust is not only of giving up the processes, but just everything. Like they have the keys to the kingdom.
My guys have literally had clients or potential clients message them and want to hire them, and they say no, we'll only work for William.
Yeah, that's.
And I've seen the messages, and they're very
key.
open with me and stuff. So that's why I laugh. I'll message the person, and it's like, if you need a VA, just let me know, and I'll get you one. But don't try to go get my VAs.
I think I ran. Do any of your VAs offer services on the lesser known platforms? Not like
maybe.
Fiverr or Upwork or any of those.
No.
Lesser known. No.
Nope.
Like forum boards, maybe.
Nope. The only guy that possibly would be Frolin, but Frolin, he mainly sticks with Facebook. He doesn't. He's not on Fiverr, legit, nothing like that. So
yeah, I ran across somebody and they're like, I don't know how, man, and they're like, are you Chris Palmer? I'm like, no. Why do you ask? I was thinking like, oh man, no, I'm not actually. I was thinking like, why, you gonna give me a deal on this price? Because you're trying to really get me right here.
Good morning, Kevin. It's good evening over here, but good morning for Chrissy. Let's see here. SEO Underground, Paul. You're a star. Great interview with Chris. Yep, he's the man. He's the legend. Jeffrey, he was down and out. He's a good friend of mine in Manila. He was out, I believe, with the flu or COVID for like 20 days. So.
Sheesh.
And he's 70-something years old. So I was kind of scared he wouldn't be coming back. And I started messaging him, had some students ask him about him, but he's actually back and he's feeling better. So, yeah. He said he got back to the computer. He's like, the whole world looks like it changed. I was like, yeah, well, Facebook went down for a few days. Facebook user, hello guys. Had the pleasure of meeting Chris at the event in North Carolina. He's a bit as energetic in person as he is online.
Thanks.
And that was without energy drinks, though.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't find any energy drinks.
It was light. It was really light. They had some ultra monsters at this gas station. I drank them all on the first day. But they did have unlimited coffee, which was...
Yeah, we got unlimited all types of coffee over here.
It was interesting. It was good. It was a good... I was looking for some, I got one
That's about it.
Yeah, I got one
I'm surprised Sheets didn't have a bunch of energy drinks. Every time I've been in a Sheets, they always got, it's stacked.
Yeah, but it was 3 miles away. But I did ride my scooter up there. They have these blue duck things. On the last day, I couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, dude, I'm going up there. I went up there. I bought 4 of them. And then I get in there and I'm like, hey, you guys got any Cope? And he's like, huh? I'm like, Copenhagen straight long cut. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let me get a roll. Then he rang it up, 1976. I was like, wait a minute. Back home, it's $29. I was like, let me get 3 of those. Give me whatever you got there. Give me that. I was really happy.
Factory Fitness says good morning, evening. It's Ken.
Hi, Ken.
How you doing, Ken? Anybody got some questions? Drop them down. Drop them down. Drop them down. Yeah, it looks like what had happened was it looks like all of Google, YouTube, everything went down for a bit.
Sheesh. I wonder what they're doing.
I don't know.
Update.
Yeah, they're doing updates because, what was crazy is, that woman came out about a week ago with Facebook. And then yesterday she went on the news. And then today today for me was supposed to be the hearing. And then boom, it just goes down.
Hey. Well, Wednesday is notoriously known to be an update day. You know what I mean?
SEO Underground.
YouTube.
What are the best 3 things a GMB user should do to move the needle on a GMB?
I think the 3 best would be get the if I had to put them in order, I think just the GMB property alone, if I had to say the top 3 would be, not in any particular order, but the top 3 would definitely be matching whatever I'm showing within the GMB over onto the site. So matching and mirroring. 2 would be getting the primary keyword into the name of the business. Well, there's a lot of them. I think the next piece is narrowing down the category. Grabbing every single zip code that's for the city that you're trying to rank in. So say it's Los Angeles, there's probably 19 different zip codes. You can't use them all. I think utilizing all the zip codes for every piece, so you're super spot on for that city. And then last but not least is whatever other towns or cities or mentions or landmarks or whatever you're talking about on that website, it would greatly benefit the primary location if we could get pins in those areas. I think these would all greatly help you.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, there's an update going on. Oh, goody.
What do you think, William?
Top 3 on a GMB. I mean, I utilize posting 5 days a week. It's mandatory for me, mainly because I take those posts and then I embed them in my press release. I embed them on blogs. I embed them in the Google sites. Started using that, so we use that. When it comes to your GMB, then pointing your GMB assets or your links as much as you can, the CID, Lucid, CID, LRD, all that stuff to your website. And getting Google to associate, if you will, your GMB with your website as the entity for that business on across the web. That's many of the reasons why I do a lot of what I do anyway. So, but That's, I mean, pretty much is. A lot of it's just the basic stuff. It's getting your GMB to be mirrored in your website, which then makes Google go, okay, this entity is represented by this website. You know, that's pretty much been the key for me, or whatever, per se. I mean, it's not necessarily the key, but that's what I would think would actually work, per se. So
makes sense.
Let's see what we got going on here. So Marcus says, if you don't have an address for a business, should you use your home address or just a service area business?
Well, if you have no other choice, I think it's best to go with having a validation of a property or a business with a GMB than not having it, right? So if there's no other choice and you can't get the pin on the board, then I would go with the service area. It's better to have it than not, for sure.
Yeah, because it's like you don't want to be showing your home address and then people come up to your home address and then you can deal with all types of craziness that way. And when doing service area without an address, can you do location extension for Google Ads?
I think there is a workaround. However, I think it's a lot better to, I think it's easier. I believe there is a workaround. Generally, though, you're going to need a pin on the board in order to run them successfully.
Let's see here. Hi, guys. Appreciate the moving the pin hack on GMB location if needed that y'all shared a bit ago. Does that ever cause a GMB to suspend?
If you move it too far out.
Trying to do too much at once, basically. You know, that's what a lot of people do. Try to do too much at one time, and then next thing you know, voila, you get suspended. We're just talking to someone about that today. So,
oh, I talked to somebody on the phone. What do you think about a video conference? Would you say that that's a spam signal, or would you say that that's more of a trusted signal?
Spam, is it a what? No, say that again.
Like you're going through the verification process and they trigger a video call instead of a postcard.
I don't think they trust you, for one. I don't think it's necessarily spam. I think it's a trust issue.
Right. Well, I agree, but I think that getting the postcard is the least trusted. That means they don't trust you the most. The next one up from that is the video. Then the next one is email, call, text. Yeah.
Let's see here. Kevin Rhodes, what have you found to be the most effective for link indexing? Tier 2, Tier 3, etc.
So I think that, I had a conversation with a interesting gentleman yesterday. Very, very interesting guy. And, I think a lot of people are under the impression that the search results is the index. In my opinion, I think that Google sees everything. And if they haven't immediately, they will eventually. I think everything gets indexed. Now, whether it's passing power or juice is a whole nother story. You know, there's just not enough room to search result index everything. There just isn't. Now, the true question here is when it's put into the inverse index, is it passing link juice? Because we know if we have a domain that's not in the search results and we 301 it, does it pass power? The answer is heck yes. So it's the same with links. Just because it's not in the search results, we know that it can pass power. The question, though, is it? I don't know. If you have to ask yourself, though, you probably need better links.
And Stefan, hi, guys. How do you confirm a fake location? Guess verify a fake location is what he's getting at.
I mean, that's an interesting question. I think you have to think about what's Google trust, right? So if you're asking me how to verify, you have to start from the very beginning with something trusted. Is it a trusted location? Do they have a lot of data on that location, right? Does Google think there's a business there, right? What's the category you're in? What are you naming the business? What's the phone number? Does that match, right? I think there's a lot. Is there other citations out in the world talking about this location with your business associated. I think there's a lot that goes into it beforehand.
Yep, I agree. DBA, and that's why we do the DBA, the citations, getting your information out there and the trust out there. It's like getting your paid citations. And because what happens if you look at it like someone trying to get a line of credit, they don't give you a line of credit, or you'll go to get a new job and they say, well, you don't have experience. If they don't trust you and you don't have the, if you will, information out there, you're not going to get your line of credit. You're not going to get the job you want. Same thing with the, if you will, GMB. If you got trust, then you'll get it. You know, so.
Or lack of all factors is another way to get it, which is my personal favorite.
So Marcus says, once again, what suggestions do you have for getting addresses? Do PO boxes still work? And he's located out in Texas. So
I haven't had PO boxes work in a very long time.
Yep.
You know, but then again, I haven't really tried. I mean, I got not lucky one time and I never tried it again. You know, old ways still work. There are lesser known services out there to get mail, to have businesses. The question truly lies is there a competitor in the same category as you in that location? Also, is there more than 3 people in that location? You know, these are all questions that, and 2, you know, I would take those 2 things into account and then go looking. There are plenty of ways to get it. Yes.
Someone was just asking me about that. They're located in the United Kingdom. And I told them, for me in the States, for example, if you're going to use a virtual offices still work, but you can't go after the, like, if you will, the proxies, or if you look at the proxy providers, the ones that are the major big houses, Google has kind of blacklisted because they've been overused, et cetera. It's the same thing with virtual addresses. Find one that's not overused and it will generally work. If it's overused, it won't work. And sometimes you can still get them to work. So
sure.
Just test it. Tayyab, great talk. What is the best time to apply a 20-page schema?
In my opinion, never. I think it's a lot of unnecessary work. There's very select schemas that actually push the needle. Right. I think implementing first and foremost the ones that show the enhancement in the SERP is definite. And then after that, there are select few that actually will show benefit to the page. You know, like, but I've seen ones where they got 20 awards, they have 32 logos, they have, like, that's just madness. You know,
we don't do. I mean, we don't do 20 logos and shit like that, but most of our schema is still fairly large. But it's, I mean, it moves the needle is why we do it. But we also systemized it so we can do that via plugin, so we don't have to do it manually. So
I think there's benefit, but I mean, like I mentioned, like these like if you're being legitimate 20-page, like where you're doubling up all kinds of stuff, like that's, you know, a nice 2-pager of some decent schema could be helpful, but as far as if I'm looking at a list of things to do, it's not in the top 5 for not by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
You know, like structure is probably number 1. Taking care of heading tags, that's up there, you know.
Doing the other stuff that's more important.
Yeah.
Facebook user goes, would you recommend a different GMB per service area? If you want to take over the state of Maryland for a keyword, should I focus on one GMB and expand its reach, or should I try to get multiple GMBs?
So, well, both, right? So I think that you should, if you have something that's working to be able to get multiples and let them age, great. But what I would do is focus on one at a time, building it out, and then move to the next. I've tried getting a lot of projects going all at one time. It just becomes too much. So if you can get a bunch of them verified, great, let them age, and then work one at a time. Take care of the citations, take care of the optimization, the mirroring, like take care of the work that needs to be done, and then move on. But yeah, verify as many as you can. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. GMBs, more GMBs are always going to be my answer. Get more GMBs, but actually utilizing them. But prior to getting more GMBs, honestly doing all the basic stuff. And then once you actually get money coming in and making profit off of the one, then you can reinvest in multiple GMBs. But to do them all at once and you haven't got the basics done, I would never say to do that personally. But
no way.
Let's see here.
And I've ran into this a lot of times. You think something's going to really click, so you'll go out and do a bunch of work. And what you'll find is they're only giving $4 for a 30-second raw, right? Or whatever it is. So, just be mindful of what you're doing. Make sure everything's on the up and up, before you start laying down time investment.
It's key. What's going to move the needle? Some things may not move the needle as much, so why would you invest all that time into doing it? So let's see. Facebook user again says, I have a few GMBs that used to rank #1 for all summer. I don't have access to them on the back end. What's the most aggressive thing I can do to pull it up to 7 to 10 spots quickly, not worrying about losing them?
Quickly and then not worrying. I think... So it depends on where it's currently at. So if you want to pull them up, you need to be generating clicks and traffic, right? Are people searching for your business? Are people clicking on your business? Are people looking for you? Are people finding you through other properties? You want to get it to jump fast. You need people looking for it and finding it. That's the easiest, simplest answer I could give you, without really causing yourself any headache and hurting the account. It's probably the best. What do you think in that instance, William?
If you don't have back-end access, for the most part, I won't work with anybody if I don't have back-end access. So, I have to have back-end access if you want me to work with it. But if you don't have it and you absolutely still need to work with it and absolutely still,
kind of tough, really.
But most everything I do is going to have back-end access. This is one of the reasons when someone comes to me, if they want to be more involved or more controlling, I won't work with them, mainly because I have to be able to do what I need to do, and we move very fast. So, let's see here. If you had a CTR, you want to click-through rate manipulation, but even then, I still need Google Search Console. I need access, or I need someone to be able to provide me the data I need. Even in that case, Kevin Rhodes, William, what are the costs of my entity stack packages? Go to rankfortress.com. They're on there. Let's see, Marcus, would Facebook ads help to drive traffic to it? Help? I
think all traffic helps. Yes. Be mindful though of what you're, where you're targeting. Be mindful of cost. It adds up fast.
Definitely.
But, I think definitely, yeah, verified traffic is always good, especially if you got something else running, right? I actually would beg of you to make sure you're running verified traffic if you're playing with anything, any bots or micro workers or any of the stuff out there. Send some validated along with it.
Don't just dump a bunch of garbage traffic, especially if you don't know what you're doing with Facebook ads. You get people over in China, Nigeria, and everywhere else clicking on your shit because you didn't do it right. You can do more damage than you can good if you don't do it right.
Yep, I would just set up a 50-mile radius, set up a job posting, send it into an event. Make sure they're messaging you within the GMB. Have some communication within the GMB. And I think you'll see great success.
So he just gave you a whole little plan right there. It's like if anybody actually listened. Cut that one little segment.
I just gave it to you.
Just gave it to you on a golden platter.
I like to do that. It's always those little... Just here.
Little things. That's what I say.
Very small.
Doing little things. I was like, so I told you with the notepad, I was like, this son of a bitch, he's got voice in here. Hi, I'm Chris Palmer, and today's video is going to be about this. And, and then you have the notepad on the background. It's like, Stuff like that. So little things. CBD, I have about 40 Gmail accounts. They're all logged into the same Chrome browser. All as a user profile. I'll just smack your hand. Keep it up. Is that bad? Yeah, it's bad. Bad. Can Google tell my emails are related? If that's not good, what should I do?
I mean, what do you, I assume that he's trolling me or trolling us, right? Because I've seen him in my chats before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all connected in the same exact thing. They definitely know. They even know. Yeah, like, yeah, your public IP, like they know even when you think you're hiding it, right? So the question is though, is how good are you separating it though? I would just keep them individualized. And that's why I like to take on one project at a time. Sometimes I'll have everything connected, but they're different accounts, right? If you're doing anything shady, keep everything separate, right? I never do anything shady. So sometimes I'll keep stuff together, but you don't ever see the settings for each account. The login data might be different. The proxies that are being used in the back end might be different. You can individualize settings for each Chrome browser. You could be cleaning the sessions each time. If you're watching somebody, let's say me or William, you might see that they might have a bunch in there, but you don't know what's in the settings. So just be mindful of how you're separating them, cleaning up your tracks. I think you'll be all right. But try to keep them separate.
we have separate profiles for everything that we do. So
it's fair enough.
So you have to, otherwise we'll wind up getting, all types of crap happening, and we don't want it to happen. And so it is what it is. So, let's see here. What else we got going on? We got some more questions coming in. We got this one. In the U.S., how many days does postcards take to arrive lately? I mean, I just did one 2 weeks ago that took less than 10 days.
Yeah, they're usually, depends on where you're at. I would say less than 30 days for sure. I try to steer clear of the postcards, but that's me. Let's see. Yeah, I try to steer clear of them. They're a pain in the butt. And then you got to wait. Sometimes you're entering them. I try to steer clear of them, to be honest with you, but that's not always the case.
Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. It's just a matter of what you got going on. Let's see here.
Morning, Holly.
Morning, Holly. Let's see what else we got going here. Send traffic to the GMB or the website. He literally just gave it to you, Marcus, like 5 minutes ago. So go back, rewatch it, and he literally told you step. We've got one guy that actually caught it. Facebook user, holy smokes, Chris, thank you. CBD proxy guy, whatever his name is, says no, actually had a consult with you. We don't know who he is, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that name.
Okay. Let's see here. Just got one for business in under a week. Yeah, don't take too long. But like you said, postcard is the least trusted way to get them.
For sure.
Yeah. Basically, they're saying, we don't trust you. If they say email or if they say phone, they're saying, I trust you. So Holly says, you guys are up early as usual. Sleep. Woman, she was up the other day. She's always up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning doing craziness. It's like, no I'll be up at 2 p.m. doing something. I get a message from her. It's like, it is 2 a.m. I think where you're at. I'm pretty sure it's at least around that time. So, but she actually, I don't know do you know this? She's actually working on a RSS type feed for your API or an API on a YouTube where it pulls your videos and embeds them across an entire network.
No, but that sounds pretty enticing. People, I really like RSS feeds.
Yeah.
I noticed I love when people are willing to share my stuff. A lot of people pull from that data. I found great success using feeds, especially public feeds. I like them. I like them a lot.
Ollie says hot flashes has started, so I'm up now at 2:30 a.m. Might as well get work while I sweat.
Sweating, might as well say I'm working. Yeah.
Yeah. If you got questions, make sure you drop them in here while we got Chris in here, and we'll do our best to answer them. Got about around 30 something people in here. So
man, did you ever make that video the other day? You were gonna give up something you were up to that's no good.
Oh.
Huh?
No good. You mean the one where the video auto plays?
I'm not sure. You were gonna give a tip, and that's why I asked you about that guy, that the Tony Peacock guy.
Yeah.
Because what I've been seeing is some interesting rankings.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. So yeah, there was one guy that asked about the making a YouTube video autoplay, and I did make a video about that. So how to do it in WordPress, how you actually have to write the code, because everything that tells you on the internet how to write it is wrong. That I found you actually have to do it a different way, and at least in WordPress. And there are buttons inside WordPress. If you click it and it says make it autoplay, it don't work. So I had to do it a different way. What you're talking about is the backlinks going to the YouTube. And that's what I'd mentioned before, sending backlinks to the actual YouTube video per se. And it's that, but it's also a combination of traffic, and it's also a combination of embeds. It's not something I can just go, oh, it's the backlinks.
Right. So it's the process, the stack.
I don't know. I can. It's a whole stack that we do: the embed, the traffic, and the other. And it's not micro workers. I've done micro workers on, I believe, about 4 or 5 videos. And that's when I'm basically saying, can I break my own shit using a bunch of traffic like as fast as possible? But yeah.
Well, I noticed when I'm looking at some similar videos, they all have around the same view count. So that's when I started thinking to myself, it's got to be something that there's a footprint there, right? I started thinking to myself, well, it has to be some kind of system. Because it'll be like 1,048. I'm like, okay, not yours, but this guy's.
Mm-hmm.
And they're ranking high for some very select terms. And I'm like, okay, it's got 1,048. Okay, he got 48 real views and 1,000, So I was just looking, and then I started deep diving into the video. Okay, where's this link to? Okay, what's this attached to? So I found some of it.
Yeah, Tony actually. So what my deep dark secret is Tony.
He's got something that's working.
Basically, I know for a fact, I could tell you what I do know. I do know he has like 20 something, almost 30 servers. He has a certain amount of blogs. Yes, he's using Money Robot, but you can actually, from what I know, you can get specialized blogs from Money Robot, not just what they give to the public. And then besides that, I mean, for me, I literally, there's certain videos I want to rank. This is why I laugh when people say, oh, you're doing this and this. It's like, I'm literally doing the video. He tells me how long to keep them and, everything I need to do. And then I go, it's done, send it to him. He does whatever he does, and I give him money to do it.
And I noticed that a lot of them are streams. Does that have something to do with it?
Yes.
All right. That puts a lot of pieces together for me.
Like if you premiere it too, premiering helps a lot. So I'll premiere a lot of my stuff sometimes, especially that's helped me get on page 1 of Google and push other people down. So there are other terms that are a little bit harder, but Tony, I mean, I just keep him. He's on payroll pretty much. You know, it's like he sends me invoices, and I keep sending them money because it works. But he
Cool.
sells stacks and all types of stuff. And he was in the class the other day with me too when we did our YouTubes, you know, going over just the basics of, do you got your cover profile optimized? You got the video optimized? You got the title description optimized, you know, in everything. It's the regular stuff we already do plus some. So, live RL fan, it has to be some sort of clickjacking method, I'm pretty sure, with YouTube. Yeah, it's just when I was talking about automatically making the videos not rank, but start or autoplay. Let's see here. So Dean, I'll be at SEO Underground next week, Chris, with Craig. So drop some bombs, please.
I might have a little something. I'm not sure yet what I have a general idea. I don't know how it's gonna fly, but we're gonna see.
Let's see here. So Ray, when someone is adding a Q&A to their GMB, is it okay to ask their own question and provide their own answer? Or should the answer come from another GMB source?
Well, I've done it both ways. I think it's, you can ask and answer without being the same account.
Yep.
So I've tried both ways, and you can get away with doing it yourself, but it looks a little strange. Like Chris asked and Chris answered.
Mm-hmm.
Chris asked, Chris answered. I've done it both ways.
That's what we were just going over in that video today, where I show on how to get questions, and literally you log in using one account, and then you log in with another account and answer them. It doesn't take that long.
What the max was? What's the max?
My honey spot is no more than 10, so I don't do more than 10.
And then
I'm picking certain ones that have to do with, for instance, if I go to Google search and type in this one I did moving company, and where the questions at Google is saying people are asking, and then that's what I'm going to use. And then every month I'll add no more than 10, and then put that in. That's what I'm mainly doing.
So you'll keep adding and adding and adding.
Yeah, and I've had people go in there and want to drop 30 or whatever at a time, and I've seen suspensions from that crap. Testing stuff out. So
yeah, that seems a little intense. I like that. I use kind of the same thing for the stacks. Grab the questions that are being asked most commonly. But yeah, I was just curious if you found the max. Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, I've pushed it past 10 up into 20 and get them crash.
20 at one time or overall?
At one time.
Oh, at one time. But I mean, overall, though, are you thinking that you could probably get 100?
I think you can easily get 100 easily.
Interesting.
I don't think, necessarily per se, I'm trying to get at least about 20 to 30 in there, and that's.
I'm trying to figure out. Sorry about you.
No,
I get excited. Okay. Well, you've talked to me enough times. What I'm trying to figure out is the parameters. Why is the maximum 12, Holly? Like, did you notice when we're stacking the parameters, what's this magic 12 number? And why is it 12? Why does it break at 12? And I noticed this too. I can get it to break earlier by using different types of keywords early on. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to have the business name first. I get that. That makes perfect sense. But once I get to 12, it breaks. But if I put, say, a word like best in there, it'll break right there. So what I'm really curious of is why does best and top and these types of words break it? And then two, I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure out why is that number that? And then also too, it plays a big part into like the anchor text for backlinks. Like, I keep seeing backlink profiles of people utilizing exact matches and partial matches, but I've been a firm believer in entire phrases. Yeah. It's almost like matching whatever my anchor text. That's exactly what I'm going to use this parameter, and that's exactly how I'm going to drive my traffic. That's what I'm testing right now is, okay, if I'm making a 6-word phrase as an anchor text, and it just so happens to contain services, company, the primary keyword, and the location, and then that's the parameter that's driving traffic, will I get a better boost for all those variations? That's the question. The answer, in 10 days, I'll know.
Let's see here. SE Underground, Dean J. Yep, that's the plan. To Chris to drop some bombs. SE Underground says again, how carefully do I need to be to change the business name and phone number, changing to a more specific niche within a niche?
How carefully do I need to change the business name? Well, these two places, I would be more selective with the name change. I would definitely separate them on different days. And the other piece is too, whatever I would move, if you're going to change the name, I would do that one first, right? Because we want to have the biggest impact up front, just in case something happens. I wouldn't change that number though. If you could get the name in there, I'd be pretty happy. I don't know. You're messing around with the stuff that I generally don't play with.
Yeah, the phone number, I actually did one of those live the other day. The phone number I usually never have a problem with. It's the name. Up until about June, I believe it was like late July, I believe. Prior to that, I did like 80 of them, name changes, adding keywords in them all at one time, no problem. And then Algo update came out, and then try to do that. And then just doing the simplest things was getting suspensions. So I don't do too many name changes anymore. So Jason, what's up, guys? Hey, Jason.
Oh man, I need some Sudafed, I think. Sheesh.
Dean, will adding a UTM tracking code to an existing GME's website trigger a re-verification? I've never had that happen. So
yeah, I've seen in a Facebook group, I think it was Signals Lab, somebody was talking about that, but we don't know what built up to that, right? That might have been in a chain of other events that happened, and they did this, and that's what did it. But he didn't mention the other 9 things. So
yeah. So Steve Mover says, I have 2 GMBs. This is a good idea to have both of them embedded on my homepage in the footer.
I have 2 GMBs. This is a good idea to have both of them embedded on the page in the footer. I'd separate them if they're different locations. Mm-hmm. One on each location page. But hey, William, my little guy's about to go to preschool.
Yep. So saying we've been on for at least an hour already.
Yeah, he leaves right at 9. I mean, I can come right back, but what I do is I generally will walk him down to the car, and I can come right back if you want to keep going. But
yeah, I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I actually have a phone
call
with a client coming up soon, anyways. But I'll be here. I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll be back. We can get more questions in. Yeah, it's part of my routine, man.
No, that's cool, dude. Jason, when we are launching our Link Juice energy drink, I don't know. When do you want to launch it? You tell me. Hey, Adam. Good afternoon, bud. Steve Mover, would it be safe to change a phone number on my GMB? Well, first off, have you changed it on your citations? Have you changed it on the website? Have you changed it in all the other locations? That's going to be my first bit of advice. Once you've done that, then you should be cool. I did a phone number change live the other day on my YouTube channel, so I've not had a problem with changing phone numbers. So no, you haven't done the citations. You haven't changed it on the website yet. I would tell you to do all that stuff first before trying to do the other stuff. Yeah, Steve Mover, very cool, Chris. I used to do that. Yeah, my son, Isaiah, I've actually done that for him when he was growing up. I remember taking him to the daycare and doing all that stuff. It's one of the best things I believe about working for yourself. I was able to do those sort of things and not have to worry about it, if you will. So let's see. Dean, I just gave my newbie staff some low-level sites, 100 RD and iWriter content targeted to relevant low-hanging fruit terms, and the anchors used to target the pages were 6 to 7. Yep, and it was 6 or 7 word phrases, and it jumped. Yep. Let's see. Where can you buy aged Gmail accounts. There's a couple of places online. If you comment in afterwards, I'll reply back and show you in regards to that. Hey, Jason. So when is my virtual assistant course launching? It is launching mid October. So in about 2 weeks, it's launching. It's going to be me teaching along with my top right-hand man, Fernell. He's going to be teaching, and Becca Martin, and she used to work a lot with rank and rent lead generation with the Speed Up company. And she's going to be in there talking about everything under the sun when it comes to, if you will, we're going to be talking about how to hire a virtual assistant, where do we find them. Besides that, obviously, we're giving away about 20 different standard operating procedures in which we're going to go over everything from hiring, firing, training, backlinks, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, all the normal stuff that I do even in my agency, GMB, processes, optimization, how we do audits, etc. So all that, pretty much everything you need to run your own agency. So if y'all want some more questions, keep them coming. And as long as we're waiting for Chris, I'll answer them best of my ability. Having coffee at night. I drink probably way too much coffee, but it's my one, if you will, downfall anymore. So me, Jason, and my friend Jason, my brother Jason, and homeboy Kevin and Graham, we're all doing 75 hard. If none of you know about it, it is definitely, it's not a joke. Exercising twice a day, drinking a gallon of water, all that stuff. If any of you in here that are watching done 75 hard, that'd be pretty cool. So if y'all have any questions, just let me know, drop them in here. If you have any questions that you'd like me or Chris to do other videos about, we also do that. That's how I generally get my content. People tell me what they want and I create videos for them. So Adam says coffee or better than drinking too much whiskey. Yeah, I used to drink straight liquor, but that was when I used to gamble and play in tournament poker and professional poker. Jason, yep, it's hard as shit. 75 hard is no joke. Had to piss 4 times a day in an hour. Awesome, Josh. You did 75 hard. It was the toughest 2 weeks of your life, huh? So you didn't make it. Well, yeah, we're going to do the best of our ability to make it through all 75 days. I don't know if Chris has another class right now, but I know, he always has new stuff coming up. But Steve, we just launched on Monday our new GMB Reloaded, and we are doing a towing company in Sydney, Australia. So, nope, you didn't make it 75 Ds. Yeah, I mean, it can be pretty hard, but just got to kind of pick yourself up and keep going and, keep moving and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's what we got to do. So Dean asking, are embeds still a go-to to rank boost for GMBs? If so, what kind of numbers? And is Tony the best for that? I use embeds and I use Tony for the embeds, but I also use Holly's network. So for example, whenever I'm doing my YouTube embeds, I have my YouTube stack. I take that video, I put it inside the blog on the actual website. Then I also take that video and the blog and I do a press release with Signal Genesis. Okay. And then after that, I take Holly's network, news network, and I do the blog on there. And then I embed the video on there. And I know she's actually working on an embed network as well for automatic. So it just pulls across the entire network, the videos and stuff. So Steve's asking, are the videos on the back end? Yeah, rankfortressacademy.com. If you are a GMB Pro, all the videos are on the back end on a daily basis. So on the back end on the daily basis, generally within a few hours or so, I try to get them uploaded. along with any standard operating procedures, etc. So
That makes my day, man.
we were actually talking about that. We had someone ask about it because I told them, I said, I actually used to do that whenever my little man was about that age too. So, and
It's a must, you know?
no,
Well, you figure mom's in a, like rushing, getting ready, and then it's for me, it's like pep talk. Like, you're gonna have a great day. Wow, you look great today. I really like your shirt. You know, get him in that mood. Inspiration.
My son's now 14, and I bought him. He's on his way. He came to me. He goes, he wanted a drone, and he only had basically $100 for one. And I was like, dude, we can't just get $100 one. If you want a drone, just talk to me about it, and I'll help you invest in a nice drone. So we're going to go get a nice drone. I've already ordered it for him. And I tell him, now you're the new videographer. So we're going to have you doing some videos about different places we go and stuff, and showing stuff. So we'll do all that shit. Oh, yeah.
Buildings.
Yeah.
New developments have just been formed in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Nice.
Going, like, if you go to the beach and stuff, it's pretty cool. Karen, William, could you possibly do an over-the-shoulder video on doing a news article for Holly's network? Holly's actually going to be, I think, me and her doing one on Thursday or Friday, I believe. I don't know for a fact, but even if not, then I'll definitely do that in the class. I know it's similar to a GMB post, but, well, to me, it's nothing like a GMB post, but I know what you mean. Thanks for all the gold you teach. Appreciate it. Adam says, when adding photos to your GMB, do you add keywords in the description, etc.?
I fill the titles out of the photos fully.
Yeah.
And depending on the client too, depending on time restraints, I might even take the time to add some extra data, at least to the first initial page, photos. You know, I'm not going to do every single one though. That's crazy. I think the tool I use does batches of 25, so that's usually what I'll do.
Okay, let's see here.
What do you think about that, William?
I actually don't. That's one of the things I haven't seen the benefit of it. I mean, we'll name it whatever the keyword is,
for sure,
and then upload it, but I'm not going to put XF data and all that stuff in it. Now, that being said, if you're doing reviews,
that's another story.
All day long.
For sure.
All day long. So,
well, they're stripping it. You know.
Yeah, and that's my point. But there are some people that say, well, they're stripping it, but they're stripping it after you've uploaded it, so they actually still have it.
Well, and they're using data resource to strip it. Yeah. They're essentially spending money to take it out. What are they doing with it?
Yeah, that is a curiosity.
So that's why I just do a few. Let's get the data we want in these images. You know, not every single one because there's a lot of time. But, you know, GeoCetter, you could get a lot of data in there. Do a quick batch.
We'll do the XF data, stuff it up as much as possible, latitude, longitude, all that shit, whenever we're uploading it onto the website. And there are people, and I answer this in another video, where they'll say, well, WordPress strips it. You know, WordPress doesn't strip it unless you're using a compression tool. If you're using a compression tool, then it gets stripped. That's the only time it gets stripped, at least what I've found. So,
well, I think, you know, Google's more concerned with what's in the image. Yeah. It's cluttered all through the patents, like landmarks, different buildings. They know what's in the buildings. They know what's outside the buildings. Like, so much so on your phone, you could take a picture of a building by you and it'll tell you exactly where you're at.
Yep.
I think it's more important what's in the photo.
In the photo.
Of the photo, for sure.
Yeah, and what you layer on top. Steve says, don't miss those moments. You will treasure them as you get older. That is a fact.
Yep. Well, I learned that lesson the hard way the first time around. So I learned when the little guy came, I was like, because I was really focused, you know. Yeah. I was busier.
My little man, why I'm so attached mainly to him, was when I went through my first divorce and was really hard. My little dude is the one that was there for me. whenever I went through it, I remember at one time my mom told me, she said, she came up to him and said, "Are you okay?" Because he seemed upset. She said, "Yeah, I'm upset, but this is when he's like 4 years old, so right around your boy's age." And she goes, "I understand, Daddy. Daddy's upset because of I was going through the divorce," and told her everything why and stuff. And that was just he's been my little man since I went through it all. So
and the pureness, it's
yeah.
so respectable. They don't hold any punches.
Yeah, versus if it was an adult, they'd be like, "I don't give a shit what kind of day you're having," It's been harsh.
Yep.
So Arnold says, "Chris, I hope you're not hitting lines. You're crazy. Great to see your work." No, I've used both of your techniques and some of my clients. They're crazy, bro.
What's hitting the line?
Hitting lines. No, you're doing chewing tobacco, you crazy.
Oh, chew.
It's chew. It's chew. He's hitting chew. He's not hitting lines, you crazy person.
Oh, line.
Like,
I get it now. I'm thinking SEO. What's a line? Oh my God, dude. Look at me. Do I look like I'm hitting lines?
As I say, these people got jokes sometimes. He's like, I've used your techniques, Chris and Bill's, and they work really good.
These guys, man.
No, energy drinks, lines of energy drinks all day long.
Yeah, line these up for sure.
Marcus, what are things to not forget to include in a website to help GMB rankings, Google reviews, maps, etc.?
What things to not forget to include in a website to help GMB rankings? Things not to miss are what's the easiest to always remember is Google gives you a website blueprint. So some things that I never miss are directions, privacy, terms of service, links to the actual GMB, links to the reviews, links to specific reviews based on the page that I'm trying to rank. If I have a customer talking about, hey, he's the best plumber in Wichita, and I have a Wichita page, you best believe I'm going to be pointing to that review. I think the list goes on, but those key elements, the reviews, the knowledge, the actual profile, the directions tab, the contact, these types of things, don't forget those. There's quite a list, actually. It's just what's on my head, fresh.
Carl York, Tony's building backlinks for you. Cool.
Yeah, and I'm starting to hate. I mean this in the nicest way, depending on who's watching. I'm starting to, not the word hate, for lack of better words, hate Duda. I spent quite a bit of time adding these unique parameters to my webpage. Mm-hmm. I had somebody message me the other day and they're like, hey, I can't find this on the site. And I'm like, no, it's at the top. Go here. I did the bare minimum, but it's functional, right? That's because I'd rather worry about the client stuff. But then I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, it's missing this. It's missing this. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I had to sit and redo it again.
Yeah, I'm actually taking on a couple of new clients that's only on Duda. And I told them, Chris uses Duda. I mainly use WordPress, but I know why you would use Duda because you could scale with it really fast as an agency. And you can still get excellent rankings and all that jazz. So
it works very well. But be mindful when you're putting in the URLs. If you start working on this, make sure after you press it in, you'll see website. Press enter so there's a green check.
Okay.
They've implemented. It's the smallest thing, but I'll forget because I'll just be doing it. You have to press enter and make sure the green check is there. If it's a circle or nothing, go back and redo
it again.
It's finicky, yeah.
So Raina says, hi, sir, I may be off topic, but I'd like to know, I have a 360 videos on the Street Map app. I'd like to post it to my GMB page, but was not able to find how to get a file to upload it.
So I believe it's inside the info tab, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one. I believe it's under info. There is a section for those types for that type of data.
So type of data to be uploaded. So Patrick here saying, hey guys, Chris, what tool are you using to add data to the images?
GeoCetter is one of the tools.
Yeah. And Patrick, I know this guy. He's actually in our classes. We actually went over that in class. There was GeoImager, I believe, is the one we were using in that one. Constantine, love that name, by the way. But hi, William. I've created a website for an appliance repair business, built out all the service pages, brand pages, location pages. I haven't done a blog yet, but should that be my next step? I'd have to see the website, honestly. But if you're just building out the website, I'd have to see what all you've implemented. I mean, have you done the rest of everything else that I would do, like the reviews, the Google embeds, the PDFs, the text reviews? What have you done on the location pages? Have you set up the location pages? Did you do the advanced schema? I need to see more than just that. So,
and two, if you're done, just to add on to that, it might not be necessary to have a blog. It might be necessary to have supporting pages based on the location pages. They're blog posts, but they're really there to support the location page or your high commercial intent page. Just an added benefit.
Marcus is a client I talked to recently. So when you run a local Falcon, this is where he's getting this question from. When you run local Falcon, he tells you specifically this is how many data points each person has as you go up the GMB scale. Is there any way to see a competitor's specific data points or get their? I'm assuming you're wanting their information of where they're getting the data points. What's the highest quality data points? Is it press releases? Backlinks, etc. We had spoke about this. So your location is not nearly as competitive even as what I was doing with St. Louis. With St. Louis, when I did what I did, and if you look at it now, which go back and look at the video and look at everything we talked about, we did simply all the on-page content. We did the YouTube stack. We did a YouTube video for every single page. We did 4 blogs, and those blogs were turned into videos. And then we did 2 press releases. We did no backlinking. We only did the on-page internal structure, all the other stuff you see on there, and it ranks. It dominates the 30-mile radius without any backlinks, without any citations, GSACs, Cloud Stacks, none of that shit. So sometimes you don't have to do it, and that's one of the reasons why when we're looking at it, one of the common factors we're finding in his specific case is every single person ranking in the top 10 had the word moving inside of their name. Moving company. So that's your number one thing. You need to get it into your name. Constantine. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Separates the pros from, not saying that but you knew that, hey, let's do this first. You're not going to do all the cloud stacks and all the extra stuff if this is going to move the needle. Yep. Right. Now, if you're in a competitive space, you want to do as much work as possible. So when the next William steps up the bat, he doesn't stand a chance. But in this case, I don't know the case, but.
No, so when we do our GMB Reloaded, this is what like we're talking about classes and stuff, because I've had some people interested in doing a stacks, IFTT and stacks or driving stacks class, and that's what I was going to talk to you about on another time or whatever. But when we do a GMB and we're doing the ranking for that specific course, what we do is we just go through the process and we stop at wherever, hey, it got rankings. So if I didn't have to do the GStack or whatever, then I didn't have to do it, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Just saved yourself 2 hours.
Less work is not a bad thing. So I guess some people just think it's like, okay, I got to do this many citations, or I got to do this many backlinks, this many cloud stacks, and that's the magic formula. And there's no magic formula. It's just do the work, put in the work. That's the magic formula.
Just keep throwing stuff at it until it ranks.
See what's going to make it, sticky icky.
Yep, that's it.
And then sometimes, like on the keywords, adding keywords into your title. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And sometimes you have to look and go, does my competition have it or not? It's not always going to be the ranking factor. depends on your city, depends on the population and everything else. I mean, there's
100%.
tons of stuff I look at. Let's see here.
Those stacks, though, man, there's something there. And then
I agree they work. It's just I tell people all the time because they think it's so damn easy. I said this shit's a lot of work. Say I think Chris is training on it. I think it's at least a couple of days at minimum. It's not, hey, let's do this for an hour and let's show you all how to do a drive stack.
No, it's a lot of it's a lot of time. Yeah, I can't do that. But I had a lot of questions about the validity, I guess, of the stack or the power of the sites or doing stuff. I recently sent a couple GSA links to a Google site that has a stack attached, right? Mm-hmm. And it pushed to the first page for New York SEO expert. So nice. It's quite interesting. I'm thinking, okay, well, I have all the other pieces in place. I'm going to keep pushing links to it to see if I could get it to. It's only a 590 volume. It's not nothing special, but I was thinking crazy. Stuff's working pretty good.
As it works. Constantine, thank you guys. Appreciate you for watching. If you got any more questions, guys, just drop them down because we're at the end of the questions right now. Okay, when you say stack, does that mean it links to other items, correct?
Well, everything within the cloud.
It's a package. It's like stacking it together means it's a package. It's not one piece and that's it. It's this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece. You wouldn't do a drive stack and not use not use the Google site. You wouldn't do a drive stack and not use maps or whatever. You wouldn't do a drive stack and not use the calendar. I mean, it's all boom, 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 and you have processes that you do with it. I don't know who called it a stack to begin with, but
Oh, it moved down actually. Page 2 now. I'm sorry, I was checking to see. Okay.
What's the difference between a basic stack and an advanced stack? Equivalent of what I say a basic stack would be is go to Fiverr.com, and that's what a basic stack is. To me, that's your quote unquote basic good for nothing stack.
I had some guys, $25. They'll basically create the files for you, but they're missing everything that makes it.
They're missing everything that gives it the juice, and the juice is what you need. I mean, when we do the advanced stack, it takes a week to do them. So
there are some really good providers out there that must have had they knew about the stacks early on, and they must have bought a lot of Gmail accounts. Mm-hmm. And I have ran into a few that for $5 they'll give you a stack that's the worst stack ever, but they'll give you a Google account that's the old account. So if you could find those providers,
another little gem there.
Yeah, well worth the $5 or 10 or 20, whatever. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what essentially that's what a stack means. It's linked to one another. Everything, it's all one puzzle, if you will. Wayne, does it make sense to put facts on more than one page of your site? For example, your service pages and location pages.
Definitely. There should be facts on every page. Heck yeah, in my opinion. And I think you should have a dedicated facts page to make sure I encompass and bring in everything that people are searching for. Definitely, in my opinion. But only use 3 per site, maybe 4, because that's the enhancement that we can get, like within the SERP. Take up more space in the SERP.
Constantine, what are the biggest needle movers for organic local SEO?
On page and links.
Yeah. And traffic.
Well, those 3 are key.
Traffic is the holy trinity.
Yeah, I think that's what validates everything. Traffic, for sure.
Carl York, my domain name's over a year old. My DA is a 0.8. What is the time to build? When is the time to build authority, or what could I be missing?
So as soon as you launch the website, you're starting to build in a Crew Authority. True Authority is built with time, right? But then you can start adding pieces or speed up the process by adding links, building out the overall size of the site. So creating more pages, that will help significantly internally linking those pages and building links to those pages. That's, you really want to speed things up. Think of a goal generally at, depending on budget, the goal is we need 250 posts on this website, right? Some people do it by word count. I want to get, 300,000 words on this website or something crazy. But usually I'm aiming for 250 posts. So if the budget is cheaper, okay, let's aim for 100. But we want to get those posts and then just think,
how many word count you usually get with 250 posts?
That depends on the SERP, but generally we're hitting at least 1,500. That's usually, if even without looking, 1,500 is usually the magic number.
Yeah, we're doing about 20 to 30,000 words, depending on the area. So
for a page, one page?
No, I'm talking about the entire site. No.
Oh.
No, Chris is like, that's some dedication.
I'm like, hey, this guy's freaking murdering me here. Jeez, I must be slacking.
1,500 plus words per page. So we'll do about 20 to 30 pages and get the kada boom. We do the tips and the guides and the facts and all that, magic stuff.
Is that what you're aiming for, though? About 150 to 250 posts?
Yeah. It's a lot of work, and a lot of people don't understand. It's like they'll come to us because we get the cheap websites, but like, well, if you want to add in the content, you want to rank, then it's going to be this much. And they're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the end of our questions here.
Cool.
All right.
No problem.
So, guys, we appreciate y'all coming out. Appreciate you, Chris, as always, buddy.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. And say hey to little Chris.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I actually had some medals, but then he's like, Dad, I want those medals back. Fun. He's got his church group tonight, so it'll be cool, man. He'll have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys and stuff. And we will see y'all again, God willing, next week.
Yep.
All right. See you soon, Chris, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. I appreciate
I'll see you in the next
y'all.
one. Thank you all. Goodbye.